my Algebra 1 class, or for the other period, the Advanced 8 Algebra 1 class. Welcome, and this is our first lesson for this class, combining like terms and order of operations. So really think of these maybe next 2 weeks as a good review of the past things that you have learned. We're still going to do some linear functions this heavily this semester, and then we'll move on to quadratics, to parabolas, and some other functions too next semester. Okay, so let's just start off with the things that you already know. There's going to be 2 rounds for these notes, and every time that I have notes, we're going to do them together, and then I'm going to stop the video so that you can do the classwork homework exercises on your own. And then when you're done with that, then you can go ahead and move on to the next video, etc. So then now you'll see like how I will teach. Let's just get down to it with number 1, and we'll go all together, number 1 through 7. If I am teaching too fast, the good thing about like the videos is that you guys can stop, pause whenever you want. That's always a plus. Okay, we're going to simplify each expression. An expression really is something like this: negative 5x plus 10. That's an algebraic expression. Just because it has the numbers, these numbers are called coefficients, and they're tagged along with the variables. Okay, really think of this as negative 5, x-rays plus 10 x-rays. If you are not too good with your integers right now, it is possible for you guys to use a calculator in hand, and these are like terms because both of them have x's. So we're just going to go negative 5 plus 10, and that's going to give us positive 5. So these are like terms. So we can combine them into one simplified version, and we have just done that. 5, and the answer is not just 5, it will be 5x. Okay, let's move on to number 2. So really now we have 3 terms here. We're going to try to figure out which ones are like terms. Well, on this first one, this has a variable, and these 2 do not have variables. These are just pure numbers. So these 2 over here are like terms, and we're going to combine them. Okay. If you are not too strong with your integers, your adding and subtracting positive and negative numbers, when we come back, we can do a little bit more exercises with that. Otherwise, it is okay for right now to use a calculator, and we can go over why some of these rules are. But those rules were presented during 6th and 7th grade. Okay, negative 4 minus 5, it is negative 9. So one way to think about it is, do you owe someone $4? I hope you don't, but someone owes someone $4, and then that same person is asking for $5 more, so you owe that person, or that person owes $9. Okay, so the 2r stays put, and then minus 9. On the side over here, you may want to put in some of your work, and then that way you can plug that back in. So the negative 9 translates into minus 9, and that is fine. Let's do number 3. Negative 2m minus 3 plus 7. I hope you can spot that 2 of them are going to be like terms. And the like terms that we're going to circle are the negative 2 and the positive 7. Notice that I'm also circling the sign that comes along with that. Okay, so on the side, I'm just going to do that, negative 2m plus 7m. This is actually the same thing as saying 7 minus 2. 7 minus 2 is 5. And we just have to put in the variable. Negative 2 plus 7 is the same thing as saying 7 minus 2. Negative 2 plus 7. 7 minus 2. Same thing. Okay. All right. So I'm going to put that first, 5m, which we got. And then don't forget the minus 3. That was not a like term, so we're just going to leave that, but we're going to put that as part of the answer. So 5m minus 3. Okay. We're sort of halfway there. Let's do number 4. Okay, now we have 4 terms. Let's see if we can pair up a couple things, and I think we can. I always like to start off with the variables for some reason, just because it's just there. So I see positive 8x and the negative 2x, we're going to put that together. So I'm going to put that on the side, positive 8x minus 2x. and then positive 1 and positive 2, because those are just numbers. Okay, so let's do this one over here. 8x minus 2x, that's 6x. 8 minus 2 is 6. 8x minus 2x is 6x. And then after that, 1 plus 2 is going to be 3. So we're just going to put these two all together. Your final answer is going to be 6x plus 3. Okay, so 6x. Why plus 3? Because this is a positive 3. Because it's a positive 3, we're going to put a plus 3. All right. On these last 3 examples, we're going to do some distributions. And then afterwards, you guys have enough information to do some of your homework problems, and then you guys will see me on the next video. Let's do and review some distribution properties. So we have a parentheses, and right next to it is a -7. To distribute again is you can draw some of these arrows. Some of your previous teachers have drawn the arrows on the top or on the bottom. Doesn't matter, okay? Distribution means what though? What operation means distribution? So you will have to do multiplication. So let's do that. And I'm going to do this step by step a little bit. So this is technically -7 times n. So that's that one. Plus, then you'll have to multiply these two numbers, -7 times -5. Okay, so you're multiplying -7 to these two terms here. I just made another step so that you guys can see what is going on. Okay, and then don't forget the -5n, which we didn't do anything just yet, and that's totally fine. Okay, so now let's go multiply them together. -7 times n, we really can't do too much. It's just going to be -7n. Okay, a number times a variable is just both of them combined, like that. Okay, remember from your positives and negative rules, negative times negative, this is a positive. So -7 times -5 is positive 35. So we're just going to leave it as plus 35. You don't have to go plus 35. That's too redundant. Just leave it like that. And then we're going to drop down the -5n. We're almost done. Now this step looks like some of these problems over here, which we've done. Now we're just going to circle the like terms. And the like terms are -7 and -5. Let's do that on the side. -7n minus 5n. Okay. You owe someone $7, and then you're asking that person for 5 more. Hopefully you're not owing people. And then you're left with, your total is -12n. Okay, so this is pretty much you're adding two negatives together. Okay, -7 minus 5. -12. Okay. All right, so we're going to put that on the last line. This is going to be -12n. It's from these two over here. Oh, let's put this video. And then don't forget the plus 35, which didn't have a like term. Okay, so -12n plus 35. We're going to do 2 more, and that will be it for this first video. Okay. Number 6, we are going to distribute, because I see a parentheses and I see a number attached to it, but you need to be very, very careful with these types of distributions. For number 6, you know, some students think that it's just only a 3 that you're going to distribute. You're going to also incorporate this minus sign. I know I'm just blocking off the 8n, but incorporate the minus sign. That means that I'm going to circle this, and you're going to distribute the -3 to these two terms here. So think of this as not a -3 now. Think of this as a -3. Okay. The 8n, we didn't do anything to that, so that's fine. All right. Now I'm going to do the first thing first. So we're going to go minus 3 times -8n. Okay, so that's the first distribution. And then now the second distribution, it's going to be plus -3 times 6. Okay, so the first arrow pair is here. The second arrow pair is here. Let's simplify by multiplying them, 8n. Okay, this is a multiplication. -3 times -8n is positive what? Positive 24. Okay, so from your multiplication, -3 times -8 is positive 24, and then with the variable. negative 3 times 6 is negative 18. So even though we have a plus sign over here, we can override that and just write minus 18 because this is going to be a negative. Okay. You can put the plus sign 2 here as well. Plus negative 18, that's the same thing. I'm going to circle or underline the like terms, and I think these are the only like terms that we have. Okay. And this is now a strict just addition, 8 plus 24. And 8 plus 24 is going to be 32. 32n. And then minus 18, which didn't have the like terms. We're just going to leave it like that. Okay. Last but not least, let's do number 7, and then that's it for this video. Number 7, it's going to be a double distribution, but that's okay. We're just going to distribute these terms respectively to their parentheses, those terms, and then we're going to find some like terms. What I like about number 7 is it gives us a review of this negative sign over here. Remember, if you don't see a number and it has that negative sign, what number is really over here? Well, that number is going to be a 1. So you're really distributing a negative 1 on that first pair of parentheses. So I don't have room to do the up arrows, so I'm just going to do the down arrows, which some of you do actually, and that's fine. Okay. And then it's a positive 8. So I'm going to distribute positive 8, multiply them to these two over here. Okay, so I'm going to write it out fully. So let's start with this one first. Okay, so the first one is going to be negative 1 times a. Negative 1 times a plus negative 1 times 10. Negative 1 times 10. Okay. Now next one will be here. 8 times 10a. Plus 8 times 2. All right, let's start multiplying. Negative 1 times a is just negative 1a. This is what I'm actually going to do. I'm going to change this into a capital letter. And the reason why I'm going to change it is because sometimes my a's look like 9s. You don't have to change it into capital letters. It's just because my handwriting is just going to be a little bit messy. Okay. All right. We can do plus negative 1 times 10 is negative 10. So you can write it like this too. This is fine. Or if you prefer minus 10, that's okay. They're the same thing. Plus negative 10 or minus 10 is okay. Okay, plus 8 times 10 is 80. And then I'm going to put a capital letter A because I don't want to mistake it for a 9. And then plus 8 times 2 is 16. Okay. Just need a little bit more space. I'm going to go underline and circle our like terms. So our like terms, there should be 2 pairs of it, negative 1a and positive 80a. So I'm going to write that down over here on the side, negative 1a plus 80a. We'll solve that a little bit later. And then we have negative 10 and positive 16. Negative 10 plus 16. Okay. Negative 1 plus 80 is the same thing as saying 80 minus 1. So 80 minus 1 is 79a. Okay, so hopefully by now you know some of those tricks like that, or some, not really tricks, but patterns, okay? Negative 1 plus 80 is the same thing as saying 80 minus 1. They are the same thing, okay? So over here, negative 10 plus 16, that's the same thing as saying 16 minus 10, which is 6. And here is proof. Okay, so they're both the same thing, just written a little bit differently. So this is positive 6. So then your final answer is we're going to bring these two. It's going to be 79a. And then this is a positive 6, so we're going to go plus 6. Okay. Please show as much work as possible. Work like this would be nice. I'm aware that some of you guys don't really need to show too much work, just because you already know your multiplications, and that's fine. But I would like to see like some middle steps like that after the distribution and then the final answer. A little bit of the work on the side would be nice too on how you got, you know, the negative 12n. Well, I combined the like terms, and here's the work over here. So please show as much work as possible, because what I have done is for this week and the next week, I have put in on the answer keys on the back so you can check your work, okay? I don't have anything, I didn't have any complaints. I've been doing answer keys in the back for a while, and it's just a method for you guys to check your work when I'm not around. Okay, so 5x, yep, 2r minus 9, 5m minus 3, 6x plus 3. So sometimes on the answer keys, it will write it as 3 plus 6x, but please know that it's the same thing as 6x plus 3. That's the same thing, okay? So it's totally fine if the things are switched, okay? You get 12n plus 35, 32n, okay, good, and then 79n plus 6. So it looks like everything is checked out. All right, you guys, you have enough information. I'm sorry this video is a little bit too long, but I just wanted to explain everything. Please do now and show as much work as possible, number 8 all the way to number 20. 8 all the way to 20. Show as much work. And calculator, okay. All right, so do them now, check your work, and then after that, I'll see you guys on the next video.